Blind Pew here. As you hopefully recall, at the end of my previous transmission I was about to jump into the legendary Great Annihilator system, almost 25,000 light years from inhabited space and quite close to the galactic core. Let's take a good look at it. Where does this legendary status come from?
2, 1, engage.
I'll just pop to the back of the ship and put a pot of fusion tea on while we jump. Whoa, I seem to have arrived quite close to what I'm assuming is the black hole. Systems are scanning it now. Let's see what they pick up. Yes, it's a black hole alright. Firing off a complete system scan now. 7 other objects. Let's take a look at the system map. Yes, there is the black hole. Already discovered, of course, credit to the commander Tyler. It has a mass of 200 times that of Earth but condensed within a radius 0.0008 of Earth's. Just look at all these stars it is pulling in. Hang on, there is a second black hole. Very unusual, a binary black hole system. No wonder it is an annihilator eating up all these stars. Better be careful. Okay, how close to this first black hole can we get? Quite close. Oops, to close the system is dropping me out of supercross. I really should be more careful than that with all these horrendous cracks in my canopy. 720 kilometers from it. Can we get nearer out of supercross? Powering up the thrusters. At 716 kilometers I have hit the body exclusion zone. I think that means that I am just outside the event horizon and my ship's computer is preventing me crossing that for safety reasons. I wonder if that can be deactivated? Looks like that is as close as we can get. Just look at the intense lensing of light around here. Now the important part. Can we escape the gravitational pull of the black hole without destroying the ship?
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
It got a bit warm there, but not really a problem. Oh, but look at the lensing of the light as the intense gravity of the black hole actually bends the path of light around here. Wow, look at the galactic plane. That is really odd and can't be seen elsewhere. Really worth seeing. So, that is Great Annihilator A, and its local star. I'm guessing this is the other black hole. Great Annihilator B, we need to get in closer. 200,000 light seconds to go. 90,000 light seconds to go. I am trying to approach with the galactic plane exactly behind this time for a better view of the light distortion. At 100 light seconds you can already see the distortion. At 15 light seconds, as I orbit the black hole, the distortion is quite pronounced. This is quite odd. Very difficult to keep the black hole with the galactic plane behind it, and no crash into it. got to be careful here. Just need to line things up again for a better view. At 15 megameters, with the galactic plane behind it, we can begin to see a dark core at the center of where the black hole should be. And indeed, our sensors have now identified this as a black hole. Great Annihilator B approaching this head-on with the galactic plane behind really shows just how extreme the light is being bent around here. This is truly amazing. But I do need to be very careful. Yes, very careful indeed. With all these canopy cracks, as you can see, a crash out of supercross at too high a speed might be disastrous. Look at the light of the galactic plane bending around the black hole. Astounding. But the approaching dark core, now very clearly visible, is quite scary. I wonder how close we can get to this one. Quite close now. At 250 kilometers the system is dropping me out of supercross. That is nearer than we managed on Great Annihilator A. But I think this is the smaller of the two. How close can we get outside supercross? Yes, I've hit the body exclusion zone again at 249 kilometers, so not much further. Again, I assume this is the event horizon the ship is not letting us cross. Checking the system records tells me, an event horizon is a boundary in spacetime beyond which events cannot affect an outside observer. In layman's terms, it is defined as the point of no return. That is, the point at which the gravitational pull becomes so great as to make escape impossible. An event horizon is most commonly associated with black holes. Light emitted from beyond the event horizon can never reach the outside observer. Likewise, any object approaching the horizon from the observer side appears to slow down and never quite pass through the horizon, with its image becoming more and more redshifted as time elapses. The traveling object, however, experiences no strange effects and does, in fact, pass through the horizon in a finite amount of proper time. So probably just as well the ship stops us crossing that limit. There is also something in the ship records about white holes or something, not sure what those are. It's very strange. I can't really see any of the surrounding stars this close to the black hole, such is its distortion. I'm going to see if I can target one with the ship's computer. Ah, there we go. I think that I can just about see it. Let's see if we can jump out to it.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Yes, but rather disappointing we did not see the galactic plane coming back into view through the lensing effect. I'm just reapproaching Great Annihilator B, but with a distant nebula behind it to see if we can indeed see the galactic plane distortion on jumping out. Jumping back out. Ah yes, that is looking reassuringly odd and weird. And there it is. I never get tired of seeing that. Okay, that's the Annihilators. Pretty interesting. A quick check on some of the local stars and we will be on our way to Sagittarius A at the galactic core. Whoa, weird. I guess we weren't quite outside the effect of Great Annihilator B. This is quite a bright one. All these stars are slowly being sucked into the black holes, I think. So this one will be gone at some point. Checking the galaxy map, you can see just how congested with systems the core regions of the galaxy are. So, as you can see, the Great Annihilator is in the core region of the galaxy, but slightly off to the right. How far is it now to Sagittarius A? Yes, just less than 3,000 light years. I'm going to head directly there now, the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy. I'm hardly stopping to scan anything now, just a fuel scoop to keep the fuel levels topped up. Then heading on as quickly as possible.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive.
I do always stop and scan the very bright class starts, however, as these are worth more in exploration data, I believe. Although, I've been out here so long I've rather lost sight of any financial objective. I've run the fuel reserves rather low now. I normally try and scoop a small amount of fuel per system to keep topped up, but in my haste to get to Sagittarius I seem to have neglected to do that. I'll need to do a longer fuel stop here, so may as well scan the main star at the same time. Not much of interest on the system scanner. I must admit that after all this time out exploring it takes something quite unusual to draw my attention. There we go, that should be the fuel tanks full.
Fuel scooping complete. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Interesting to see that there are still quite a few planets with life on them out here in the core regions. I suppose that the far higher density of stars here makes that more likely? Anyway, this one is unusual, in that it is a gas giant with ammonia-based life and has rings. Not sure if I have seen thighs before, so I will take a closer look. Skimming over the rings does create a very interesting view, but is potentially fatal if I were to crash out of supercross with these cracks in the canopy. But, oh well, I can't resist. First discovery to me, I think. Had to stop and take a look at this. Such a very vivid red color this planet. Seems to have taken a battering as well looking at all the impact marks on it. A gas giant with white coloration. Nothing unusual, you might say. Even with the interesting storm patterns on its surface. However, look at this. 4 suns and this is the only planet. I'm seeing this more and more in the core. I really never get tired of seeing the local star bleeding round the edges of a planet like this. Especially if it is an interesting planet. Like this. A terraforming candidate just a stone's throw from the galactic center. Must press on though. We have a supermassive black hole to see.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Multiple stars. For some reason I just can't resist trying to fly between them, even though I know it is dangerous.
Disengaged.
These ones are not too close together though. There is a third star somewhere. Oh, there it is, quite far off. These, however, are close together. But I still can't resist. Temperature reaching critical levels.
Warning, taking heat damage.
Now over critical levels. Why did I do this? When I knew it would happen. Need to get distance quickly. Back to safe levels. Damage does not look too bad. I must stop these rather rash actions. I think it is the long periods of solitude and inactivity out here that drive me to it.
Frameshift drive charging.
Really? What are those? Got to scan these bright class stars.
Fuel scooping.
May as well scan the system whilst I am at it. These last two look interesting. A ringed metal rich world. Thought it was something else. But I suppose its distance from the main star gives it this icy appearance. Okay, we have got to be getting near to Sagittarius now. I've parked up skimming over the rings surrounding this metal-rich world to check the galaxy map. Just look at how many stars there are. I'll never find it. I'll use the search function. But it would help if I spelt it right. Yes, there we go. Aha, it is within range, just 900 light years. I can set the route to it, though with all the start in the region it will take some time to compute a route, so I'll sit back and enjoy the view whilst I wait. Route set. Off we go. A terraforming candidate. And an Earth-like world in a binary orbit. It does surprise me that I am still seeing these so close to Sagittarius A. Don't know why. I think that there is life on this one. Yes, breathable atmosphere and indigenous life. This water world. Apart from having carbon-based life and affording me another opportunity to get a sunrise view. Is absolutely dwarfed by its massive local stars. And finally a gas giant with carbon-based life forms. What is special about this one? That it is right next door to Sagittarius A star.
Frameshift drive charging.
The next jump will take us to the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. Sagittarius A star. I've traveled such a long way to get here, and it has taken so long that I am almost afraid to make the jump.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Here goes. Now that is big. It looks close, but note that it is more than 65 light seconds away. By contrast, the Great Annihilator only loomed this large at a distance of around 250 to 750 kilometers. So this is absolutely massive. Yes, see how the computer identifies it, not as a black hole, but rather as a supermassive black hole. Checking the system map. Whoa, that is big. Congratulations Commander Zulu Romeo for the first discovery. 516 million times the mass of Earth. Crammed into a radius just 15 times larger than Earth. This is enormous, bigger than I can properly comprehend. Most black holes have a radius far smaller than Earth, in order to create the necessary density. This has so much mass. So very much mass, that it is 15 times the size of Earth's radius and still is a black hole. Truly phenomenal. I'm now trying to maneuver around it so that I have the galactic plane directly behind it. That should allow us to get the best view as we approach, as was the case with the Great Annihilator. However, it is proving difficult. I've now moved away to a distance of 2000 light seconds to allow me to line up properly, and we can now approach with the best view possible. See how even at this distance we can already make out the dark center and see the lensing of light as it is bent around the supermassive black hole's gravitational field. I'm moving quite fast to close the distance now, but will need to sharply decrease that as I get near or it will be a disaster. Just tempering my speed now, need to control this carefully. Slowing down more. Wow, look at the distortion. Really, it is difficult to see what is going on, such as the extent of light bending going on. This really is strange and disorienting. Much more severe than any other black hole I have seen. And look, we are still 45 light seconds away. Just how close can we get? Oh, hang on. This is different to any other black hole I have encountered. Look at the temperature. It is climbing fast. I need to drop out of supercross, or I'm going to start taking heat damage. If you recall, with the other black holes there was no heat problem and the system took me out of supercross when I got too near to the gravitational field. Even then we were able to get right up to the body exclusion zone, which I assume is the event horizon. I wonder if we can get near to it here under normal drives. I'm going to see how close I can get to this thing using normal drives. It should be quite interesting. However, in case anything goes wrong, I'll say now. Good luck, commanders. And I'll see you out there.